This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined all the way from Dublin with the one and only Tyrone McKenna. How are you?
Well, good. Just in between sessions at the minute, I was training there about an hour ago, and now I'm waiting for the next session. So just chilling in the hotel, bored. Thought, what an opportunity to get an interview done with Boxing Tickets NI.
You're right. We done the last one we done. Obviously, supposed to be in the build up. Obviously, you're fighting Dublin, and we're not sort of going to try and spin it and sort of that bad sort of thing because it's the things you don't want to hear. But the last one we obviously done in person. You were saying I like to do these in person, but and I said to you, well, look, you're in camp in Dublin. Let's obviously crack the board in between sessions and just get one done.
Yeah, usually, but you know what? Usually I'm having a wee sleep, a wee snooze right now, but there's bigger things to do. Interviews got to promote this fight, know what I mean?
Do you know what? I think it's probably a good place to start. Like, obviously, initially, obviously, the feel you obviously building up for your fight, you'd sort of just been announced and stuff like that. Lewis had obviously fought. I'd sort of heard wind in the background that sort of there was a potential of this fight in December. And obviously, I put it to Lewis, and I know that sort of you'd shared the next day to say, I'd just been obviously commenting to say how good Lewis looked, and there he is calling me out. But what a fight!
Do you know what? It is what a fight. It's a fight that I think Belfast fans want and deserve. They haven't had obviously I've had about four all Irish clashes. I've fought Anto Upton, who was from Belfast. I fought Sean Cray and Jake Conlan was supposed to fight Phil Sutcliffe as well. So I'm always into big nights like this where you've got a local rivalry, and it seemed like I was way past that for a stage. Like there was no one in kind of my radar would go fuck here. I was just basically king of Ireland for a long time. Where I was going, there's no one actually around me that I could fight. That I love it. I love the kind of pride and pressure that comes along with these kind of fights. And then someone just recently just said, "Oh, what about Lewis Crocker? Now that you've moved up now, fuck, he actually is decently ranked. He's a big enough name. He's doing well. So." Once it was put to me, I know it was not a backward step, but it was a bit below me. As in, I want the big, massive fights, but I want to give. I've always said it during my career. I always want to give the fans the big fights that they want, the ones that they're choking for. And Lewis Crocker is one that the public were really behind, really want to see. So I'd have been a hypocrite if I had said no. Um, I like to please the fans, and that's why I accepted the fight. And I think it's a great fight. I mean, Lewis is a brilliant fighter. I always entertain, always watch him. Um, and he's a humble fighter. He's not like one of these cocky dickheads. So I have liked Lewis's previous fights, and I think me and his styles gel. It's going to be a fucking unbelievable war. I mean, he brings the power. Is he going to hit hard enough to deter me? No one has in this game yet, and I've been in with some of the hardest punchers in the world. So people are saying, "Oh, Lewis Crocker hits too hard," and our Tyrone works work rates too high for Lewis, and people are giving out these ultimatums of what way the fight's going to go, and it's getting everyone excited for it.
It's one of them, and I know I've spoke to quite a lot of people, and I know Jamie obviously had said that he was speaking to people about the fight as well. People obviously initially will sort of they'll look at record, they'll not look at records so much, but they'll look at stoppages. They obviously know that you love a war and everything else, and they look at stoppages, and people's first reaction is, "Oh, Lewis will win." But then when you sit down and you look at it, and I'm sure you'll sort of be sitting in your head as well and thinking, how does this play out? Lewis's power, you obviously have shown that you love a war and you'll stand there. It's how much of obviously Lewis's power can, you know, power start to go through the round. So once he
What you
blows,
kind of what you have to kind of think about as well is Lewis's power when he's fighting below par fighters. What's he like when he fights? He's never had a hard fight in his life. Like I mean, in his life, amateur or pro, he's never actually been at this level ever. So everyone's saying, "Oh, he's this and he's that, and he hits hard." He's never fought anyone that actually wants to fucking get in, grit their teeth, and go to war. He's never fought that. So no one actually knows how strong Lewis Crocker is, how much he bangs, how good he is, because he's never fought anyone. He's literally unknown. People that gauge. I put up the other day. It's experience against youth, basically. And someone said, "Oh, Lewis's experience. He's a 17 fights, 17 wins. Against who? If you can spell one of their names correctly, I'll give you a fucking praise. Because you can't. They're all foreign fighters. So we don't actually know how hard Lewis hits because most people could not go out the people that he's fighting. But I'm not saying that he doesn't hit hard. I'm sure he does fucking hit hard. I'm going to find that out fucking in December 2nd. But I'm sure to God, and I can bet everything on it, he doesn't hit harder than Prograis. He doesn't hit harder than Jack Catterall. Them guys I was in the ring with, no one's ever knocked me out. I was stopped by Prograis on cuts. I took his best shots, got up and laughed at him. There's no doubt in my mind I'm taking his par. No
And
doubt. So
even the Prograis
people
fight,
need
Farrell probably shouldn't have been stopped.
it shouldn't have never been stopped. Never. And it was stopped on a cut. It wasn't stopped because I was hurt. I got hit by a clean, massive left hand by him and instantly started laughing at him. That no one does that. So everyone is saying Lewis Crocker hits too hard for me. He needs to get that out of their fucking brain because no one hits too hard for me. Um, Listen, I'm not going to slander Lewis because I do like him, but I think people are putting a lot of credit on his name where he doesn't yet deserve it. He hasn't got the credentials. He hasn't got the stripes to let it. He hasn't earned the stripes for the way people are talking about him. Basically,
We obviously went into a good wee ramp there and I was sort of going, we're going to get thrown in the smack talk here, but we obviously understand, this is a wee comments like this you'll see from people now will obviously fuel you up over the next 5 weeks or so, but not that you don't need fueled up because, your intentions have been there for war. You obviously want to get Lewis in the phone box in the middle of the ring. See obviously if you can bust his energy levels and then see what he's like when obviously he's really put to work.
yeah, that's it. I mean, I think everyone knows my game plans. Like, I don't need to head my game plans or not talk about them. Everyone knows what's going to happen. I'm going to go into the center ring and I'm going to go hell for leather, and I'm going to see what Lewis can do. This is a big opportunity for Lewis to show how good he is. He hasn't, as I said, he hasn't had the level of fighters that I fought. He hasn't really been able to show that he's what he is or who he is. So he's in his head. This is a massive opportunity. He's going to be training his body off. I know that. I know he's going to come in, proving a point. It's on DAZN. It's in front of Eddie Hearn. He's seeing this as a massive opportunity. So no doubt in my mind, he's putting it in. He's putting in the graft, and he's going to go for it. But the thing is he as good as everyone says he is? Because I don't know. He hasn't fought anyone good at all, ever. So we actually don't know how good he is.
When obviously I'd first sort of heard the rumblings of the fight, I was sort of thinking because obviously I've interviewed you quite a bit, and obviously I know that this stage of the game, it's money, it's obviously what makes sense to you. And I thought, is the offer going to be there relevant enough? And it's not that you were ducking a fight because you'll never duck a fight, but I was thinking, is the money going to be there? They make sense to you because rightly so, you are stepping back down in levels with the
Yeah.
opponents you fought, and obviously when the fight was made, then like obviously the promo and everything else like that. Like I guess the probably only negative part of that was everybody wanted it as main event for Belfast.
Yeah, it was a slate that like I was obviously I had said just the fight. It was me an event in the SSC. I was like it's a dream of my in the career is the headline in the SSC. Um it was for the IBO world title and stuff like that. And then it turned out Lewis wasn't ranked high enough to get the world title, which is unfortunate. But it said fuck it. It's still a massive fight. It's the money's still decent. It's still good, the money. But at the end of the day, it wasn't about money for me. It was about giving the fans what they want. I haven't been in the ring for a year and a half. I miss the fans. The fans miss me. Um, this is the kind of fight where I think I don't even think I know everyone is buzzing for it. I mean, my phone has not stopped. This ticket sale, like I had to stop taking ticket orders. It's fucking mental. Like I could easily fucking sold the Odyssey out myself, the SSE out myself, for fuck's sake. It's been an unbelievable response, and I think it was right when I said to take his fight for the fans because it's all anyone's talking about, I think. And I'm excited for it.
It's one of them, and I say it captures the imagination. Obviously, people's not used to seeing Belfast versus Belfast fights. Yes, obviously you fought Andy Upton before and things like that, but not to the magnitude of this level. And I guess it probably shows that, you know, obviously you've had obviously your heartaches over the last year, so obviously the last couple of years, obviously you're supposed to be in the front and co-main event the front, and obviously they're the
Yeah,
main, they're the main.
it's been a bad couple of years where I've had call offs and like weeks before, like my last two fights, a week before the fight, I got called off, and then the one over in Frampton, up over in Dubai, it was the day of the fight I got called off, and then you get promised other fights and they don't happen that you just don't hear about, and then you're just like, fuck me, am I ever going to have a fight again? Um, but I'm excited about this fight. This fight excites me big time. Like compared to even the fight against the Italian for the IBU World title, it it was a big fight. It was exciting for me, but it was nowhere near this level. I mean, this is on the zone. It's against another Belfast fighter. Um, it's just a massive fight, and like it's something things that I love. Like I love the pressure that comes along these fights. I love the uh the pride that's on the line. It's a completely different feeling going in the ring when you're fighting someone who's from your same city. Um, Lewis has never experienced that either. He's never experienced the actual fucking that you're going out and you don't know if you're going to win or not. You don't know if you're going out in front of your home fans against another home fighter, and it's fucking so much pressure, so much pride on the line. He's never experienced that. What way is he going to react when that happens? I mean, I don't know. I know what way I'm going to react because I've done it before. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see how he reacts on the night, but whatever way he does react, I'm going to beat him still. That's no doubt in my mind. The way I'm training, the way I'm sparring, the way I feel, it just feels all right,
Do you
all
want
perfect.
the sort of bit of build up to it? Obviously, I know Lewis, obviously, in one of his Instagram posts, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, he called you a fool. Was he trying to goad you into obviously having a go? Not that you need to go to in, they obviously have a bit of entertainment in the build up, but do you think maybe that's what he's maybe need to maybe get it, co-main event?
So, do you? I don't know. I don't know. I think already everyone's talking about it, everyone's excited for it, everyone's like, it doesn't even need to be. This is one of the few fights where I don't even need to promote because it's promoting itself. Like, as I said, I fought Anto Upton before. He's from Belfast, but it wasn't of this magnitude. This fight where he's 17, no, I'm highly ranked and I'm 23-3. We're well up there in our careers, and putting it all on the line in front of our home fans. I don't think it needs any more promoting. I did see a few things that he's done. But you know what? I just laugh at that shit. It's fucking funny. Like I've been like, most of my fights. There's back and forth. It's normal to me to see it. Like see at the start of my career when the first one I ever had really was me and Otto Upton. No, not me and Otto Upton. Sorry, me and Sean Cray. And that I got under my skin there. I was like, "Fuck!" I hated him, and I was going back and forth, and I was using all this energy to hate Sean Cray, and it was the wrong way to go about it. Now I'm more mature, I'm more experienced than that, and I know what way to take things. I don't know what should rile me up, and what shouldn't. And him talking shit doesn't rile me up one bit.
I want to hit you with a random fact here because I know you love random facts, just to sort of calm you down a wee moment because you'll be going back to your next session and Peter will be going, "Who's annoyed him today?" um, do you know obviously in your career so far, you've 27 fights and you've only ever fought in December once.
Once
Once. Back in 2013 when you were in
did I win?
Pennsylvania, was it?
So
Pennsylvania,
once, so one.
and you won.
Was that in? Oh, I hear. Listen, and I was against a middle. I was in middleweight or late middle or something.
Every comes, you're actually super welter. It was Tevin Farmer was actually
Exactly.
the card.
Yeah, he was headlining it, Tavin Farmer. Yeah, yeah, he was late middle. So just shows you I'm a killer. I'll take any fight. Anyone, everyone always says, "Oh, they're too big for you and you're going to knock you out." Hasn't happened this day before. Um, I won the last time was in December. This December, nothing else is going to change. I'm still going to win. That was actually a great performance. I'll tell you what. Who was it? Um, who's from Allentown that fought Ali?
Fought Ali.
He's a big name. What the fuck's his name?
Um, Fraser.
Nope.
Trying to think. I'm searching here and go box rec, and you put in Muhammad Ali, and you'll get about 3 million.
Well, anyway, he rated me 10 out of 10. Said it's one of the best performances he's ever seen. So I'm going all the way to the top. I forget his fucking name. He's massive. He's a fucking huge name.
Laurie Holmes.
Laurie Holmes, there it is.
Holmes.
Laurie Holmes. Laurie Holmes said 10 out of 10 performance in that December show. Unbelievable. And said I'm going all the way. So I have to prove Larry Holmes right. Larry Holmes right.
Obviously, on the card itself, obviously, I can't think of when we've ever had a card that's been better. Obviously, you were obviously involved in mixed homecoming in 2018. Obviously, sorry to be negative. Obviously, the Jack Catterall fighting, and that was a war. Like when people look back, and I know we've sort of looked at some of your fights recently, Jose Felix, the Dara Foley. These fights have got better over time. It's sort of shown that you've had ones against people and they're going, it's just Tyrone, he's another one. These ones are getting better.
Yeah, exactly. People, I believe, underappreciate me. They literally just think I go in and throw dice and that's all I can do. But really, if you look at the caliber of people I've fought and the caliber of people I've beat or just got beat by, like there's only one person and he stopped me on a cut was Prograde, but the rest were very close fights that I lost. And then I fought some very good fighters and I beat them. And people don't take that into consideration until the people that I beat go on and do good things, and then I go fuck here. Tyrone actually handily beat him, and he's actually decent. So I think after a win in December 2nd, people need to start giving me a bit of respect and start speaking the way I should be spoke about.
When you look at the card, obviously Michael Conlan returned against Jordan Gill. You're obviously your teammate and Sean McComb fighting Sam Maxwell, which obviously you shared a camp and stuff with the two of them in Scotland and stuff as well. And obviously Caoimhin Agyarko and Troy Williamson. There's 4 fights that could headline any card in the UK and Ireland.
It's the best card I think I've ever seen in Belfast. Honestly, from usually you have one or two of the main events, not really exciting you. Maybe it's an English fighter coming over and he's co-main and he's fighting some random foreigner, or it's someone from Belfast fighting someone that you've never heard of, even some Mexican that you've never heard of, but he's decent. But here we have we have 5 people from Ireland and 3 English fighters fighting each other. I don't think I've ever seen that, like where it's just UK and Ireland fighting in the top 4 fights, and they're just all 50-50. Like no one can split them apart. Even though the betting odds are very fucking tight, and like that Caoimhin Agyarko one, and Troy Williamson, that's a fucking banger. That's going to be an unbelievable fight. I've seen Sean McComb and Sam do a million rounds together, and every single one of them rounds was fucking unbelievable. So I'm expecting that to be a fucking. Well, it'd be hard to steal this show. See this show, it's going to take something special to steal it because every single fight is just going to batter the next fight and batter the next fight. It's just fucking even McConaughey v Jordan Gill. That's some fucking scrap.
Particularly super featherweight as well. Obviously, both and it's 12 rounds at super featherweight. Both coming off defeats, stoppage defeats as well. Obviously, it's sort of make or break for both of them as well. Like even when you bring in the week before, you've 6 Ireland versus England clashes. And you're sort of going predict obviously what it could be, and it's great for boxing. Obviously, you couldn't ask to be even the person that's obviously opening the card and before the bell. They're rubbing their hands together because they're going, I get to sit back and relax and have a beer and watch the rest of the card. Whereas you sort of need to be going, can we fight before the bell so I can watch the rest of these fights?
I know. You want to watch these? This show is just fucking. I don't know. I just think it's a show you go sober and alone and watch because drinking and people annoying you by talking is going to throw you off watching it. It's honestly one of the best. I'm not even saying it's because I'm on it or because it's in Belfast. It's honestly just stacked with, and there's still. I've got rumors of other people on the undercard and who they're fighting, and I'm like, fuck me. It's just like get down at fucking 5 o'clock when the doors open because every fucking fight's unbelievable. Um, they've really pulled it out of the bag as show, and I think the fans are going to be happy for Christmas.
I think Eddie Hearn must have listened to our interview we done. Obviously, you were saying about obviously you're never in the shows, never as an opponent, and obviously now you're going to be in a war, and Eddie Hearn's going to go on. I remember that kid, but obviously I never speak of you. Who is this guy? And I was like, yeah, I fought.
I think he's still holding a grudge because I seen him in Rome and I got him in the headlock when I was drunk.
Was out in Tommy's fight.
Yeah, he came over and put his hand. Well, Tyrone, now what's happening? Grabbed him, get a picture. But nah, I'm only joking. Yeah, well, listen, I asked for to be on the shows, and bang, it happened. So I have to impress him. I've done enough moving about it. So this is a time to shine and time to impress. Matchroom and DAZN and the public and Belfast.
And speaking obviously of Tommy, obviously he's back in action in 10 days' time in Poland, going to become a two-time European champion. I was sort of
You,
saying to him at Gerwood, obviously, the last year or so we're used doing the podcasts and things like that. None of these have been fighting, and obviously it's been awkward. But he was saying that you don't really talk about boxing, and I've private messaging with some of them and going, how do you not break the internet with some of the stuff that's on? Some of it's complete madness, but obviously Tommy becoming European champion in 10 days' time, it obviously will bring a different feel back to the podcast, probably for you again in some ways.
yeah, I don't even know if people want to hear us talking about boxing on our podcast. To be honest, they like to hear the madness and our day-to-day lives more than boxing. But obviously, boxing is a factor of our lives, a big factor. So it will be nice to Tommy gains that EBU title and can focus on a world title again and get back in the limelight. And obviously, us doing well in boxing promotes the Whiskey and White podcast, and the Whiskey and White podcast also promotes us boxing. I mean, I even had a guy from Matchroom mail me and say, "Look, let's work Whiskey and White and Matchroom in for 5 weeks." So we must be doing something right. Well, the podcast is going fucking unbelievable. How do we live our last week in the garage for our Patreon subscribers? It went brilliant. We've got another big live booked in December. So we're going from strength to strength in the podcast game, and we love it. But obviously, boxing's at the forefront. Boxing's the main thing, the main objective for us, and every win kind of helps build that podcast.
What about doing your live podcast at the Christmas market? Is that maybe, I don't want to maybe scare something off, but obviously we know you love the Christmas market. Obviously, a couple of steins and the Christmas market, perfect.
Listen, we have one booked in December, but we were going to do one downtown in the Com Market was going to be, but we've stayed true to Davnish, and we're going to be doing in Davnish. I think the posters will be released soon, but I'm not concentrating on that at the minute. I'm just concentrating on the fight in 5 weeks.
5.5 weeks. So, obviously I've asked for obviously people and questions, obviously on Instagram. So anybody that's obviously watching this that wants to get involved and getting questions asked.
What is it? Is it going to be all slobbering? Let me hear it. Go.
There's no Homer ones. You'll be glad to know this time.
Fuck, I'm surprised.
So ask him who LDG Films is.
Was that LGDG asked that?
Yeah,
If it was, come on. Fucking Jesus, blowing your own trumpet. Look. Nah, only joking. That's Luke. He I actually met him doing John Zoo, the rapper, his podcast Just Slobbering, and he was filming and I was talking about him, and he asked could he film something for me. I forget what it was. And I said, and he's brilliant. So I've started using him a lot.
For Dublin, was it?
It wasn't. It wasn't that. It was something previous that I wanted to do, and he done it, and it was great. And then we got him for that Rocky one because he was good, and then he done a fucking unbelievable job of that Rocky promo. He's unbelievable. So we've started using him regularly. Hopefully, have a good one out for this fight. I don't know if I'll have time. I hope I do have time, but I've got a great idea for this promo.
We'll let you keep that idea into yourself, not let too much of it out. Obviously, someone else has asked, what's the plan for after Crocker? Is it to fight on more matchroom cards?
Well, yeah, I mean, once I beat Crocker, I believe Eddie Hearn's going to go, fuck me. Tyrone's actually pretty good. Good looking guy, charismatic. Um, talks the talk and does the walk. So hopefully he puts pen to paper and goes, fuck here, I'll sign him for a free fight deal. But if he doesn't, I'll still be doing what I do best, self promoting, get me on the big shows, calling out the big fighters, trying to get a massive fight before I have to retire at an old age of about 35.
It wouldn't be to say 45 there.
No, no, no. I don't think my brain would let me do it.
I've obviously had a strange one here, and obviously I don't know if I've ever had this in the question before. If I can have his gloves. So Jerry, the hitman McCann, I think he's a young up and coming boxer with D Walsh. He wants to know if he can have your gloves.
Yeah, well, he's mailed me quite a few times for the gloves. But the thing is, I've told him all my fake gloves always get raffled for people that need stuff. Like there's a local kid that needs a lot of surgery over in America, so I do a lot of flogging of them kind of stuff for him. This time it's around Christmas, so I'm going to be raffling them off to give money to the kids that don't get Christmas presents. So as much as I like Jerry, as much as a kid I would love to give him stuff, there is, I believe, a greater good and a more important to do with them kind of things, fake gloves and fake shorts and robe and all that shit. Like, God, there's much money. It breaks my heart every year to see them kids that don't get fucking presents at Christmas. So I always like to do something around Christmas for them, and so that is what my gloves will be getting raffled off for.
It shows the sort of person you are. You're like a warrior in the ring, and you'll probably, and I know you've obviously said in the podcast and stuff as well, you'd give away your last pound to people and then go, why have I got no gift? You know, but
Exactly.
that's the sort of person you are. Like you give you
Yeah.
know, money's in one hand and you give it back
Money,
out.
money, money, money has never interested me. It's never a thing. Like I'm as happy. I've been broke and I've been loaded and I've been just as happy. Obviously, there's differences where if you're broke, you're buying a cheap bottle of wine and a fucking chippy on a Friday night, and when you're loaded, you're taking your missus out to the fancy restaurant and buying a nice bottle of wine. But ultimately, you're doing the same fucking thing. You're having the same combo with your missus. You're enjoying your night at the same time. I don't care if I have money or don't have money. It just changes my lifestyle a bit, but I'm still as happy as ever.
Whenever you're as entertaining as you are, obviously, money's no object to you. Obviously, you can still create the crack. You're going to have a laugh and a joke in the same way you always do.
And like, if people don't realize, see, even these promos that I do, they're out of my own pocket. I spend quite a bit of money on all them, and I don't need to. I like the boxing, Matchroom, and all that shit. They get their own promos, but they aren't the kind of promos I like. They aren't the funny ones. So I go out of my way. I spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these promos, um, to entertain people. I'm in this business to entertain, and I think that's shown the whole way through my career. That is what I want to do. It's what I always said I want to do, and I think it shows every single time.
You're the Robbie Williams of the boxing world.
Fuck's sake, Robbie Williams.
I'm just trying to think of someone.
Jesus.
Robbie Williams always said, "Let me entertain you." So obviously, in that sort of same respect.
Okay, okay.
But here, you wouldn't
Never
mind being
again
a
do
pound
you call
behind
me
him.
Robbie Williams. What?
You wouldn't mind being a few pound behind him.
Ah, fuck yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind his money. That's true.
Definitely would. So obviously the next 5 weeks, obviously of camp. I guess the good news obviously is you're getting a fight for the first time since August of last year. But what a fight to come back to, what a platform to come back to. There's no one obviously that needs to motivate you more than probably yourself to know that you can hear you can probably hear the crowd noise in the SSE arena already.
It's going to be, I mean, insane. I think it's going to be. Like, obviously, I've fought in the SSA a packed arena a couple of times. I've done a packed arena against Jose Felix in the Falls Park. So I've been there. I've done it in front of my own fans, but I just think this atmosphere is going to be fucking frightening because obviously he's bringing a big crowd. This is the biggest fight of his life. He's got all the supporters being very focal toward me online. Um, and then my supporters are coming in their masses. It's just, I just think it's going to be fucking an unbelievable. Like, you need to be there for the atmosphere. It's going to be like, I think even if I wasn't chief supporter, was Even if I was, say if the doors opened and me and Lewis were fighting, the place at the arena would be packed. That just shows you the demand this fight has. This anywhere you put us anywhere in that bill, the place is going to be packed. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's excited. I'm excited, and I don't want to disappoint anyone, don't want to let anyone down. So I'm putting my all in this camp. I'm training like a bastard. I think I've got a great game plan. I think Pete's the right man to be in the corner with me. Everything's just working well as camp. Usually I have a wee back injury or whatever, but nothing this camp. I'm a fully healthy human being, so I'm excited.
Where would you ideally have, obviously, if Jamie Conlan or obviously Eddie Hearn was to obviously ring you now and say, what position do you want to be in the card? Is it only right that it's co-main event? So is it going to take the sort
If
of
Eddie Hearn rang me and say what position you want to be in the card, I'd say fucking me an event, you
yeah.
rocket.
But,
But
but we know that obviously the reason Matchrooms comes because of Mick, obviously because of
yeah.
the profile and everything else. So obviously, if is it down to the fans now to obviously let Matchroom know that this fight deserves to be co-main event, or it's just where they decide?
Listen, just what I say. I'm not basing my training or my night on whether I'm chief support or I'm third last or whatever. I'm training my body off. If I'm fighting third last, I'm fighting third last, I'm chief support, I'm chief support. It doesn't really matter to me. It's me fighting at the end of the day. It's the same person. The crowd is going to be here. If I'm fighting, whenever I'm fighting, the arena is going to be packed anyway. That's a fact. Like everyone is busting to see us fight. So no matter what time I'm on it, it's going to be the same crowd. So I don't really give a fuck.
Definitely. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure as always.
Well, I don't give a fuck, but it would be nice to be chief support.
Definitely, obviously more eyes, obviously particularly around the world, obviously in the different
Yeah,
times. But obviously,
I think that's it. I think there'd be more eyes if it was chief support on the TV, but I think no matter where I am on the card, the arena is going to be packed.
yeah, and that's the most important thing. That's where it's going to make the most impact in you, and obviously creating that atmosphere. Um,
Why?
but obviously, I want to thank you for your time as always. As always, entertaining, as always, a laugh. There's no script.
Yeah,
We haven't sort of ran
it's
off
good.
things, just random as
I
anything.
just talk shit. I talk shit for an hour and then that's us.
But look, obviously, enjoy the next couple of weeks of camp.
Yeah,
Obviously, we'll see you in fight week in Belfast for what promises to be an absolute war.
100%. Good man.
All right, Tyrone, cheers. Take care.
Legend.
Bye
Right.
bye. Bye bye.